Exclamation everybody, and welcome to another channel update, monthly channel update, this time for November 2017. Hope everyone's had some great months. I hope everyone's had got some great plans coming up, especially if you're in the US for Thanksgiving and other things. My videos this week are going to be kind of here and there a little bit because of family activities and whatnot, but yeah, it's for those new to the channel, I like to do these monthly updates just to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit and show you what's going on behind the scenes and what I'm thinking about and all that stuff. Everything that I discuss here is either stuff that I've started doing or thinking about, not necessarily something that will actually happen at any rate or whatever, but it's a way for me to sort of just kind of rap about what's going on and all those things. The game in the background is Hitman Sniper, which is a mobile game, and unlike most games that I show in the background of these channel update videos, this one I'm actually probably going to do a side quest video on because it's actually fairly fun to play. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not like it's going to be a long dissertation video, but it's still a lot of fun to kind of sit here and play, and it does what it does, and it does it well. Let's put it that way. But anyway, I like to start out with all the statistics around the channel here. So when we last left in October, we had 127,947 total views, total channel views. We're up to, I'm sorry, 122 that is. We're up to 126,127. Didn't plan that way, 126, 127, but that's how it came about. And went from 429 subscribers last month to 433 this month. So still doing quite a nice little progression as far as subscribers and whatnot. It's still on the same curve that it normally is on. And total minutes watched over the last 30 days went from 12,933 last month to 11,152. So down a little bit, but that could be, length of videos as well. My length of my videos might be down a little bit and so on and so forth. So I don't really pay too much attention to that. And we went from 2,242 total videos to 2,282. So we got a full 40 videos done in this month. That's actually that's a lot less than normal, but it's been a weird month. There's been a couple days here where it's just I just haven't had time to put videos out, and honestly, a lot of my busy stuff here this month has been mostly personal stuff. I've had some renovations done to the house, so that's taken my mind away from doing videos and stuff. I have also had we've gone through crunch time at work, which is normal. Normally, like 2 times a year, it's crunch time. But what's not normal about this one was that it was particularly grueling crunch time this time around. Not the worst I've ever been through, but it was certainly there were certainly some late nights. So it was unusual for the job that I currently have. Let's put it that way, because it had never really been that way yet. Hopefully we don't have too many repeats of that going forward. But yeah, so I've been trying to like yesterday I wanted to put a video out. I wanted to get some videos recorded and stuff, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I ended up not putting any videos up for today, which is Tuesday when I'm recording this. This will probably go up on Wednesday, I imagine. But yeah, it's been one of those things where it's just sometimes you just come home and you're just dead tired and just not in the mood, just not in the mood. So that's been happening a lot this month just because of everything going on. But now I think starting to get back into the swing of things a little bit more. I have been focusing quite a bit more of my time on streaming, even though it doesn't, you can't tell from the numbers I'm about to quote, but it's, I have been spending a lot of time trying to get settings together and whatnot. So, continuing with the numbers, I went from 4 followers on Mixer to 5, so that's doing its slow increase, which is nice. And as far as hours streamed last month, between September 17th and October 16th, I had 27 hours I had streamed. And this time around, between October 17th and November the 21st, I had 23 hours. So you can see almost on par with what I did last month, but it was there were still a couple days in there where I wanted to stream and I didn't, just because I wasn't feeling it. But I have gotten, as far as the streaming is concerned, I spent a lot of time trying to tweak the settings. I think I've finally gotten to a point where the audio is a little bit better. My microphone audio, that is. It's still not ideal. Some of that I still blame some of that on the recording on Windows versus recording on Linux. But I think too, the other thing is that, like, this is being recorded on Linux, but the other difference here is that when I'm recording these videos where I'm not live streaming and whatnot, and I'm recording my audio for it, it's lossless. So I'm doing the FLAC encoding, FLAC, which is a lossless encoding thing. Whereas when I'm doing it through OBS for a stream, it's lossy. It's going through, I believe, AAC, which I don't even know what that stands for. But that's I believe that's a lossy one. And what I'm doing is I then look at the video. I open the video up. I have a plugin for Audacity called the FFmpeg plugin for it, so that it can read video files and read the audio out of video files. And I use that to extract the audio track, and then I run it through my normal encodings that I would do, or my normal what do they call it, the macros or whatever they call it, that I run it through, the different cleanups and removing background noise and all that stuff. And then I kind of write it out as a FLAC file, even though it's lossy already. So it goes to a lossless file, but it's still lossy, and then it gets converted back to a lossy thing. And I think that's where I'm losing some of the fidelity. I think I'm also losing a bunch of the fidelity because the computer is running particularly hot when I'm doing my live streaming and recording, because it has to run, the way I have it set up is it's running 2 instances of OBS at the same time, plus everything else, the chat and all that stuff. And it's rather loud for a water cooled or a liquid cooled system. It's quite loud. I originally gone with a liquid cooled system thinking that, oh yeah, that means the fans won't have to work as hard. Nope. Nope, it's still loud as hell. So I'm looking for ways to try and maybe mitigate that a little bit. I'm thinking of getting one of those, what are they? Are they Chinese? Are they Japanese? The little 3-panel fold out, like privacy screens, have like fabric on them and whatnot. I was thinking of trying to find like a small one of those, and then put the soundproofing foam on the one side that faces, like have it set up around the PC, and then put the sound foam on the one side, and see if I can maybe redirect the sound away, like out the door into the rest of the house, so that it doesn't, it muffles it on the other side, which is where I'm sitting and the microphone is. So I'll be working on that a little bit. We'll see how that works out. The nice thing though is I seem to have gotten it to a point where my green screen is pretty consistent. I purchased a LCD light or LED light, sorry, an LED light that's on a stand, and I've got it all set up in such a way that it shines on the green screen, and it shines consistently enough that I haven't had to keep tweaking the settings, the chroma key settings. Like one of the big problems is that the lighting in here changes drastically between day and night and everything else, because I have overhead lighting, but even that is not very consistent. It throws a lot of shadows all over the place. So by having this one spotlight almost that's always set to the same settings, I'm finding that I'm getting a consistent color behind me, and I haven't had to tweak the chroma key that much. It just, as soon as I turn the light on, it just works. You know, it removes the background. So that seems to be working pretty good. There are a lot of jaggies I've noticed in the videos, of my my face cam. I suspect, I mean, I'm using a Logitech, what number Logitech is that? Like 950 or whatever. I forget what number it is. It's a pretty decent webcam. I mean, it's an HD webcam, but I suspect that I have it zoomed in a little bit, because at the default zoom level, it was seeing most of the room, beyond the green screen. So I wanted to sort of try to zoom in a little bit, just so I wouldn't have to chop the sides off as much. But I'm thinking maybe, since it's a digital zoom, that was not an actual lens that's zooming, that maybe that's what's causing the jaggies and the anti-aliasing and all that stuff, or the aliasing as it were. So I'm wondering then if I need to like unzoom it and try again. Maybe that's, and just chop off more of the edges. So I might be tweaking that a little bit too. You don't see that on the YouTubes because of the extra work that I go through to kind of remove that stuff. I think I came up with a fairly novel, well, I wouldn't call it novel, but certainly a less janky solution to being able to record without my webcam for the YouTubes and still stream with the webcam and all the other stuff that you would expect on a live stream for the stream itself. So I'm gonna probably at some point I will put a video up, like a sort of behind the scenes, as it were, of how I have all that stuff set up. I kind of like to give back to the community a bit, and being a developer, being a programmer, I have that in my head where it's like, I should really tell people how I do things that that might help them in the future, which is something I don't see a lot of YouTubers doing. And those who do it are so ill prepared when they hit record that you spend the first like 3 minutes of their video trying to skip ahead to see, like, okay, I get it, like, let's get to the actual meat of the story. And of course, I'm the worst at that, but I might put like a very long video together and just have time indexes in the description, so you can just jump to whatever you want to talk about, because I'd have a lot to cover in it. I would cover all the settings and everything else, and there are a lot of them, and there's a lot of moving pieces. Not ideal by any stretch of the imagination, but I am kind of doing something that is not something that the designers of OBS or the developers of OBS really thought anybody would probably do. So I can't really fault them too much on that. Although one of the things I use, which is a virtual camera, is a feature request that they had for years for the OBS project has had for years, and they still haven't implemented it. And finally, somebody did as a plugin. So, and it's something that XSplit has had for years. That has helped tremendously when it comes to like recording from the console, because normally when you record from the console, you have an external recording device. Like I have the Elgato that it's pulling stuff off of, and OBS can talk directly to the Elgato, but only one instance can do it, because you can only have one thing talking to it at a time. It kind of locks everything else out. But when you have a virtual camera and you have it basically, you know, pulling from the, you have one OBS that pulls from the Elgato and then outputs it as a virtual camera that then other applications can hook onto, then everything kind of works out a lot better. Like you can, you know, in theory, it looks like a regular video camera feed, so you could use it in like Skype and everything else, you know, if you wanted to, that kind of thing. But yeah, all that stuff is stuff I'd like to take another video at some point to do and kind of go through and show how I've done that, and perhaps invite ideas on how to be better about that, because there's a lot going on there. But anyway, that's sort of the streaming stuff. I was able to some more of the streaming ideas. I have I finished up Galaxy on Fire 2. Unfortunately, as I mentioned it somewhere, and I don't remember where I mentioned it, but I lost about 5 hours of footage, 5 hours of live stream footage. So it's not necessarily 5 hours that you would have seen on YouTube, but it was 5 hours of footage, and it covered most of the main quest line. Well, yeah, it covered most of the main quest line and a lot of running around doing other things. So that just gone. I was recording like normal, but the video, either my commentary audio didn't make it to the video or to the recording, or the video itself didn't make it, but the commentary did. So it's not anything that I could sort of rescue from the bin. So you're going to see eventually, I don't know how, there's going to be maybe another episode or two before you get there, but you're going to eventually see me make a huge jump from one episode to the next as far as the progress in the game. And I do explain, I take some time in the one live stream to explain what had happened and what had gone on. I'll keep that in the generated episode that comes out of that. So sorry, I did not think to do a test recording before I went full bore in there and did the full live stream. So, and it's not one of those things where I could go grab the VODs either, because they only stay up for like 14 days or something like that on Mixer. So otherwise I would direct you to those and you can see what's going on there. But oh well. I've downloaded Galaxy on Fire 3 Manticore, which apparently was only a mobile game thus far. It looks like I'll be able to record it using my virtual Android stuff. I don't know yet. The controls for it's a 2-thumb controller thing, which Nox, be as good an emulator as Nox is, and it does have the ability to sort of map keyboard commands to, you know, to the virtual nubs, you know, when you use your thumbsticks to move and stuff like that. It's decent at mapping it, but I've noticed that it only wants to map one virtual nub and not two. And most games have two, like your right thumb, as you move it around the screen, maybe moves your view, and your left thumbstick moves the ship itself, or the right thumbstick, you know, you move up and down for the velocity or something like that. It doesn't seem to handle those too well. That Nox, that is. It'll handle one well enough, but two it tends to not do so well with. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to try it on the PC. I haven't tried it yet, and see if it works out. And if it does, then I'll probably live stream that and record that. That'll be the next thing. If not, I also have plans to revisit Rebel Galaxy. I didn't get very far in Rebel Galaxy. Mostly because YouTube was giving me lots of problems with the music. Lots and lots of problems with the music. Which it will continue to do. But I'm thinking, I'm debating whether to. I would like to release Rebel Galaxy on the YouTube channel, but if not, I would leave it on Mixer. One way or the other, I want to go back and play it for real, and it's a good thing to do on a live stream. Another thing that I've wanted to do for a while is to play Starpoint Gemini 2. I just could not really get into it. The controls were just frustrating the frick out of me when I tried to do it locally. So I'd like to go back to that and see if they've fixed that a little bit so that I can, really enjoy the game a little bit more, and see how that runs through. So I want to look at one of those or both of those. We'll see how that comes together. But yeah, I'd like to get. Starpoint Gemini 2 would be another good one to put on the channel. I have for a very, very long time, I've wanted to actually go back and play some of the X games, like X Beyond the Frontier and X2 and X3. The problem with those has always been my desire to play it long enough to get past the initial grind. That first part of the game where it's just you can't do jack and or shit, was usually the thing that kind of turned me off to the game. But now that I could do it maybe as a live stream, it might be a little more tolerable. We'll see on that one. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep that one as a definite maybe. I have plenty of other things I want to do first, like I said, like Rebel Galaxy and Starpoint Gemini 2. Definitely want to do Starpoint Gemini 2 because I enjoyed 1 tremendously, and I also I've been trying to do Starpoint Gemini Warlords as well. I still have not gotten into it. I've played like a few minutes here and there, but I haven't played enough to really, I don't know, to really fall for it. It's shaking its ass at me, and I'm kind of like, maybe there's something better. It's trying very hard, and I'm just kind of like not really buying into it just yet. So hopefully I can get past my own hang-ups and get to a point where I can just enjoy that enough to do a video on it at least, or a series, as it were. I got plenty of series going on, and speaking of those, I still have to finish Pyre. I want to finish Pyre. I have not recorded it in probably about a month, so we need to get back into that. There's also Children of Zodiarcs, which I had just started to get into, and then too many other shiny things happened and drew me away from it. Too many squirrels to look at, I guess. And what was the other one? Mages of Mystralia. Now that one I kind of put on the back burner because I got to a point where I didn't know where to go next. I just kind of sat there and was like, okay, there's stuff to do, but where do I go now? And that was the only reason why there wasn't more videos of that. I would like to go back to it and actually get through it, but I need to. I have that marked as need to do some stuff off camera before I start recording again on that. So I'd like to try to clear some other things off before, as I do that, so we can figure out what I can do with that. But I do want to get back to that. I do want to finish that game. It's just I got to a point where I was like, okay, now what? You know what I mean? And Children of Zodiarcs, the only reason that's been sitting on the back burner is because it started getting really hard. Like, it started to get frustrating, and I was like, let me go try something else for a little while and come back to it, so I'm not so frustrated when I come back to it. So that's where we stand on that. Speaking of frustrating too, I was intending on playing more of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. You notice that kind of stopped abruptly. I haven't been back to that for a while because I tried to do, like, I've been trying to focus on the main quests and that, and the game, like, the difficulty just spiked. Like, right after chapter 6? Right after chapter 6, the difficulty just goes right through the roof. Like, I went and played chapter 7 on stream, and I played it like 2-3 times and just got my ass handed to me every single time. So there is some more grinding that I have to do there before I can actually do that. So that's why that kind of has sat behind for a little bit. Also, I just came into possession of Dead Rising 2, which I haven't played any of the Dead Rising games, but I remember Dead Rising 2 as I remember watching videos of Dead Rising 2, and it seemed like an interesting sort of distraction thing. And it feels like something I could do on stream for a little while, and for a couple hours or so, and then just kind of put it up as a full-on video. Like, I don't know that that's the type of game that you could actually really cut. It feels like one of those games where it's like, yeah, you just kind of play it as is, or let it go through as a full VOD rather than cutting it up into episodes and whatnot. So I might do that. I might have a little video of that. I've done that with Slay the Spire recently, and actually it got a lot more views on that than I thought I would. A lot of people actually enjoyed watching Slay the Spire, which, hey, you know what? It's actually a really fun game, despite the fact that I haven't been able to get through past the chapter 2 of it. I keep getting killed by the chapter 2 boss. That boss always seems to find a way to just knock my teeth out. It certainly has always found a way. But the nice thing about it is it's roguelike mechanics. So every time you die, every run you do, you still get some permanent unlocks and other things to help you along the way. So I would like to do some more runs of that, and I'll probably put them up without any editing. Again, I'm going to try to keep the meanwhile things, as I've been calling them. I'm going to try to keep them to the weekends. I haven't really been putting videos up on the weekends anymore. There's a method to that madness. I have been spending my weekends just trying to get stuff done around the house because I've been very busy. But B, I've been trying to spend it on just recording lots and lots of stuff. And by lots and lots of stuff, I mean most of the side quest videos for the week I record on the weekend, sometimes in one day, depending on how long the videos have to be for each one to do it justice. Which is also why I'm sort of capping the side quest videos at like 4 a week now. I might go back to 5, but it'll probably be like 4 new games maybe and 1 revisit. There's a lot of games that I did side quest videos on that were in early access that I have not gotten back to again, that have had changes. I'm thinking like Lightspeed Frontier as just one example. Also, I want to revisit the Battle Void Sector Siege, because that's one video that is up on my channel, but I didn't actually link it on Steam like I normally do, because I had actually gotten some comments from the developer saying like, hey, awesome video and all, but you're not really playing our game correctly. Like I wasn't playing aggressively enough, and that was half the problem, is why I was getting completely owned. So I'd like to go back and try and do it properly, and then do another sort of follow-up video to that one, and try to like play it the way that I think the devs are intended for you to play it. So I'm going to go balls to the wall on it and see if I can make that happen. And if that comes out a little bit better, then I'll make another video of it, and then that one will be the one that I actually link up to Steam. So there's all that going on, and there's other things too that I want to revisit. I might want to revisit Avorion at some point. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I didn't actually write any of these down. Normally I write stuff down just so because I have trouble remembering names of things. And yeah, there's a bunch. There's quite a few that I had looked at once and should really come back to. So I like to do that. Also, it's been a while. I did a little let's play series on. There was like a Terraria-alike game, and the name escapes me at the moment. But it was a sci-fi game. I think they have made a ton of progress since I last looked at them, so I should probably jump back into that as well at some point. I am feeling the need to bring back some sort of building game. I've been doing some strategy games like Airport CEO, which I know it's been a while since the last video came out on that, but I haven't had any time to play it. I've been doing strategy games like that, and they're nice. I like them. I like the sort of the slower paced things at times because I feel like it allows me to sort of be halfway decent at the game. Since my reflexes suck so bad, as evidenced by if you catch before December 1st the VOD of me playing Star Fox 2 and Star Fox 1. When I play Star Fox 1, you'll see how hard I am on myself because I used to. It's one of those games that reminds you a whole lot of how old you've become, because I used to in Star Fox 1 I used to do all the boss enemies on the easiest level in one cycle, and now it's like barely. I can only do I think I only did like one of the bosses in one cycle. It was just. My reflexes have gotten so bad over the years from that. But I would definitely say, that was my first time playing Star Fox 2, which I could see the progression in Star Fox 2 from where they went between Star Fox 1 and Star Fox 64. You can see the ideas in their infancy in Star Fox 2. So see where they were going with that. That was kind of interesting to behold. It took me a little while to figure out what was going on, but it was still quite interesting there. But I would suggest if you want to see those, I ain't putting those on YouTube because Nintendo is a bitch about things. So I'm just gonna, anytime I play something that is like that I think is Nintendo's going to take offense to, I'm just going to leave those on Mixer and not actually put them out on the YouTubes. So you'll have to go over there to see it. And again, those things only last 14 days, so you have until December 1st for that one. And I've tweeted about that too. I have a link on Twitter about it. So if you follow me there, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to get a direct link to it. But yeah, so I've been looking at that. That also, while I'm on that subject, I do have the NES Classic, and that's what I was playing Star Fox 2 on and 1. And it's working out pretty good. As part of the SNES Classic, you actually gain access to, there's a couple different games on there. Super Mario RPG, I might play at one point in time, but again, that'll just be on a stream, not on YouTube's. And Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which I've never actually beaten, I might want to do as well. So those are two things there. But again, those would just be live stream stuff, not YouTube stuff. And trying to think of what else here, because I have like an hour of footage here. I played so much of Hitman Sniper. I did not intend to record this much footage of Hitman Sniper, but I was having so much fun. I was like, oh, I'll just keep on playing. Why not? What else did I have on here? So I have been back to Horizon Zero Dawn, the DLC, playing the Frozen Wilds DLC. Enjoying the heck out of that. I've got a bunch of footage recorded of that, so you'll be seeing a lot of that as I go and try to get Aloy through the frozen north, through Canada, as it were, and have her killing robots left and right and center. So enjoying the heck out of that. I'm almost at the next live stream. I'll be over 100 hours of playing the game. I finished the last one at 99 hours and 43 minutes. So we're getting really close to the 100 hours on that one, which is a heck of a lot of fun. There's I'll try to get I'm going to try to get as many trophies as I can. I'm not going to get all of them because one of them requires you, I think, to finish the game in New Game Plus. So I'd have to go through the entire game again, which I wouldn't necessarily mind if I didn't have so many other games to play. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other games out there right now that I'm like, I would love to do this again through New Game Plus, but not right now. Maybe we'll revisit that at a later date. I also have other PS4 games too, like Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest Builders, which is another one that I wanted to do a Let's Play series on. I still have that sitting there on the PS4 waiting to be played, and I haven't done it. So that's another one I want to get to at some point. I also have Dragon Quest Heroes 2 on the PC that I'd like to play through. I've never really played a Heroes game. What do they call them? A Warriors like game. And this is Dragon Quest Heroes is definitely that. It's like a Warriors like game. And I where you run around, you got 9,000 guys surrounding you, and you have to kill them and all that stuff. Dynasty Warriors like games. That's what I was looking for. I haven't really played very many of those, but this is apparently in the same style as those, and I've only played maybe 5 to 10 minutes of it, and it's okay. I mean, I'm not really a big sort of melee brawler guy, but it's good in what it does. That one I would definitely probably keep that one on the stream on Mixer. That's another one of those things that I never really got to play it because I only had YouTube, and I know that that's one of those things that was sort of a hot button thing on YouTube where people were getting their videos taken down and all that stuff. So, or at least for the first one they were. The second one, I don't know if they went to the same extremes as they did, but it's another one of those things where I'm like, why poke the bear if I don't need to? So yeah, beyond that, I've been practicing a little bit in Fortnite. Still terrible, as you might imagine, but I might occasionally do a stream of Fortnite. And I might, if I do halfway decent, I might actually put a video up of that, but I'm not promising anything there. One other thing I wanted to kind of touch on is that I've been getting an itch lately. It's not a personal thing. It's just a mental itch, as it were. I have been enjoying the heck out of the recent wave of sci-fi stuff, namely the Orville, and it is kind of inspired me to actually do something on the side, do like a spoiler recap of episodes and stuff like that, sci-fi things like I've been watching the Orville. I've been watching Star Trek Discovery, which I have a lot that I want to talk about as far as Star Trek Discovery and why I loathe it in many ways. Although it is getting better, slowly but surely, and why I like the Orville so much. So, and I've been thinking, I don't do my weekly Cube Ramblings videos anymore because they were just taking up. It wasn't that it was taking too much time. It was that it was the news and stuff. I was basically aggregating news that I had found on Kotaku and all these other sites, and honestly, it was becoming A, very samey, and B, very jaded. I was struggling to find positive things to talk about. So, and there's not a whole lot of sort of jokiness that you could put into that. I mean, there is kind of, but not really. I mean, it's pretty dry stuff. Whereas if I'm doing like a review of, say, a sci-fi TV show or something like that, there's room for me to be a little bit more jokey, as it were, or add some humor to it. You know what I mean? Or be a little bit of a nudge, as it were, when I'm talking about things on it. So I'm leaning towards maybe doing something like that. Not on the YouTube channel though. I'm thinking either, I still have SoundCloud, which I haven't uploaded anything to because I haven't done any Cube Ramblings videos forever. So I have SoundCloud. I think at a minimum I would probably do something like that on SoundCloud. But I'm also thinking, I've been trying to find something to do with VidMe. And given that they have severe limitations to people who aren't partnered, like as far as file sizes go, video file sizes and whatnot, where, basically I'd only be able to do, the way that I do videos, I'd only be able to do one video a week pretty much. That kind of lends itself towards some kind of, recap, spoiler review kind of thing. So I'm wondering if, and also it's nice and isolated from this channel. Like you're not getting stuff that's not gaming on this channel. You know what I mean? I can just kind of keep this channel as a pure-ish gaming thing rather than bringing the sci-fi reviews and stuff into it. So I might do that too. I'm debating it because obviously I've been doing most of my recordings on the weekends, so that doesn't leave me with a whole lot of time to do that. And especially with all the live streaming I've been doing lately, but maybe it does, because I have been making time to watch the videos of, the Orville and all that stuff. So it might not. And honestly, I've watched episodes of the Orville like multiple times already, because I've enjoyed them so much. So there's not a whole lot that I would need to necessarily script. Although I would script it, it wouldn't be a whole lot. Like I could do a decent outline and know what I want to talk about because I know the episodes inside and out. Like honestly, I have not known sci-fi episodes so well since, I would say, Stargate SG-1 went off the air. Because I was big into Next Gen. I was big into DS9. Voyager I was okay with. I wasn't really that deep into it. I was starting to wane on it a little bit. Enterprise never really got into too much. I did and I didn't. But SG-1 was probably the last one that I knew episodes like inside and out. Like I watched episodes multiple times and just knew it, knew what was going on. Like it was one of those things where I used to be able to identify an episode, like what happened in the episode from the first 30 seconds of the episode starting. You know what I mean? If I'm watching it in reruns, so that kind of familiarity, and I'm getting that kind of familiarity with the Orville even. So it sort of re-sparked that nerd. That nerd in me that really loves sci-fi. So I might make the time for that. But that would be not on this channel. That might be elsewhere. So that might be another reason to sort of follow me on Twitter if you want. Because I might put like a one-off video on here, like saying, oh, hey, I'm doing this over here, and here's the link to it. But more than likely, it's going to be something that I just do and try out for a little bit and see how it works out and all those things. So yeah, I think I have rambled on for quite a bit of time here. There's a lot more footage I have of the game here, but I think you've seen quite a bit of Hitman Sniper here and what it has to offer, and I actually get relatively okay at the game as this video goes on, because this was literally like my first playthrough of the game. that you're seeing. So I was learning as we were going here, and not so bad, not too shabby, I would say. But yeah, that will do it for me, I think. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Welcome to all the new people to the channel, and welcome back to all the old timers. I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I'm still continuing forward, despite there won't be no adpocalypse stopping me yet. So seeing as though I don't make any money off of it anyway. So that's we'll just keep on keeping on for now and see what happens. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.